You can have shelves full of food, stacks of bottled water, a bug out bag by the door, radios in a drawer, and backup power ready to go. That all helps. But when the power has been out for 3 days, the easy water is gone, the phone signal is weak, and something breaks at the worst possible time, gear alone will not think for you. A water filter does not help much if you do not know which water sources to avoid. A first aid kit cannot stop bleeding unless someone knows what to do. A radio will not contact your family if no one has tested it, charged it, or written down a plan. That is the gap a lot of preppers miss. Supplies can buy you time, but skills turn that time into options. They help you stretch what you have, fix small problems before they grow, and make better decisions when stress starts clouding judgment. So in this video, we are going to look at the survival skills that make your gear useful, because if you do not have these skills, your gear may not save you. Welcome to Prepper's Paradigm, your channel dedicated to practical prepping and disaster preparedness. As always, I use a computer-generated voice because my own is hard to understand due to an injury. Today, we are not talking about gear you should buy. We're talking about the skills that make your gear worth owning. This is not about running off into the woods or pretending every emergency will turn into a movie-style collapse. Most real problems start in much more ordinary ways. A storm knocks out power. A pipe bursts. Roads close. Stores run short. Someone gets hurt. A family member cannot get home. A small failure creates a bigger problem because no one knows what to do next. That is where skills matter. The right skills help during everyday emergencies, natural disasters, longer outages, supply disruptions, and serious SHTF situations. They also help you find the weak spots in your preps before those weak spots become expensive, dangerous, or impossible to fix. So let's look at the survival skills every prepper should start building and why they may matter more than another shelf full of gear. The first skill is water safety. Most preppers understand the need to store water, and that is a good place to start. The problem comes when stored water runs low, gets contaminated, or does not match the situation you are facing. A case of bottled water gives you a buffer. A water filter gives you another option. But water skills tell you how to collect, treat, handle, and protect water without making yourself sick. That means knowing the difference between muddy water, biologically unsafe water, and water that may have chemical contamination. Boiling can deal with many biological threats, but it will not remove fuel, pesticides, heavy metals, or industrial runoff. A basic filter may help with bacteria and protozoa, but not every filter handles every threat. This is where judgment matters. During a boil water notice, flood, broken main, storm, or grid failure, you need to know which sources make sense and which ones to avoid. You also need to keep untreated water away from clean containers, clean hands, drinking cups, and food preparation areas. Start simple. Learn how much water your household uses. Store it safely. Practice using your filter before an emergency. Learn how to boil and disinfect water properly. Keep a clear system for untreated water and treated water. Water is one of the few preps you cannot fake. If your water plan depends on gear you have never used, that plan still has a hole in it. The second skill is first aid. A first aid kit is one of the easiest preps to buy, but it is also one of the easiest to misunderstand. A pouch full of bandages, gauze, gloves, burn dressings, and medication does not treat anyone by itself. Someone still has to know what to do. That starts with the basics. Can you stop bleeding? Can you clean a wound without making it worse? Can you wrap a sprain, cool a burn? Spot dehydration, check a fever, and keep yourself protected with gloves while helping someone else? These are not extreme survival skills. They are household skills. A cut hand, a kitchen burn, a twisted ankle, a stomach bug, or a sick child can become much harder to manage if clinics are closed, roads are flooded, or emergency services have delays. You also need to know the limits of home care. Preparedness does not replace doctors, dentists, pharmacists, or emergency rooms. Better first aid skills help you respond quickly, reduce harm, and make better decisions while you get proper help when it is available. A good place to start is a basic first aid course. Then go through your kit at home and make sure you understand every item in it. Learn what expires, what needs replacing, and what you would actually use first during a stressful situation. Medical gear matters, but calm hands and practice skills matter more. The third skill is cooking without power. Food storage sounds simple until the stove, microwave, oven, and refrigerator stop working. At that point, the question is not just what food you have. The question is whether you can turn it into safe, filling meals with the equipment and fuel available. This is where a lot of pantry plans fall apart. Rice, pasta, beans, oats, flour, canned goods, and freeze-dried meals all have value. But some foods need more water, more fuel, or more cooking time than people expect. During a long outage, that can matter. You may have plenty of food on the shelf and still struggle if every meal burns through your fuel supply. Start by learning a few simple meals that use stored food and limited cooking time. Practice with a camp stove, grill, rocket stove, or other safe backup method before you need it. Make sure the cookware fits the stove, the fuel is stored safely, and the meal does not require half the kitchen to prepare. Safety matters here too. Charcoal grills, propane stoves, camp stoves, and generators can produce carbon monoxide. They do not belong inside the house, garage, basement, or enclosed porch. An emergency meal is not worth poisoning your family. Cooking without power is not about fancy recipes. It is about keeping people fed, conserving fuel, using less water, and keeping morale steady when normal routines disappear. The fourth skill is communication. A radio in a drawer is not a communication plan. Neither is a phone full of contacts if the battery dies, the network goes down, or everyone in the family starts making different decisions. During an emergency, confusion can create serious problems. One person may think the plan is to stay home. Another may think the plan is to leave. Someone may drive toward a blocked route, while someone else waits at the wrong meeting point. Good communication skills reduce that confusion. Start with a printed family communication plan. Include phone numbers, addresses, meeting places, medical details, backup contacts, and one out-of-area person who can pass messages if local lines are overloaded. Keep copies at home, in vehicles, and in bags. Then think about backup methods. Text messages may work when calls fail. A battery bank may keep a phone useful for another day. A hand crank or battery-powered radio can bring in weather alerts and local updates. GMRS or other radios can help in some situations, but only if you learn their range, channels, batteries, and limits before a real emergency. Keep messages short and clear. Where are you? What happened? What do you need? What are you doing next? When will you check in again? Communication is not only about equipment. It is about keeping people coordinated when pressure rises. The fifth skill is navigation and movement. GPS is useful right up until the battery dies, the signal drops, the app sends you toward a blocked road, or traffic turns the main route into a parking lot. That matters during evacuation, storms, wildfires, floods, civil unrest, fuel shortages, and even normal travel problems. A prepper who can read a paper map, choose alternate routes, and move safely has more options than someone who depends on a phone alone. Start with your local area. Know the main roads, back roads, bridges, rail crossings, flood-prone areas, and choke points that could slow you down. Mark routes to work, school, relatives, medical care, fuel stops, and any place you might need to reach during an emergency. Paper maps and road atlases still have value. So does local knowledge. Drive alternate routes when conditions are normal, because a route that looks good on a map may not work well with traffic, weather, or a loaded vehicle. Movement skills also matter if you have to walk. That does not mean you need to train like a long-distance hiker, but you should know how far you can realistically move with the bag you plan to carry. Test your footwear. Walk local routes. Carry water. Learn what causes blisters, fatigue, or pain before an emergency forces you to learn the hard way. Navigation is not about looking adventurous. It is about getting where you need to go when the easy route stops being easy. The sixth skill is repair and tool use. A small failure can turn into a much bigger problem when no one knows how to fix it. A leaking pipe, broken latch, loose hinge, cracked window, torn tarp, dead drill battery, or dull knife may not sound dramatic, but during an emergency, small problems stack up fast. This is where basic tool skills earn their place. You do not need to become a professional tradesman. You do need to know your home, your tools, and your limits. Learn where the water shutoff is. Know the electrical panel. Keep basic hand tools where you can find them. Understand which jobs you can handle safely and which ones need proper help. Simple repairs can protect shelter, save supplies, and reduce stress. Tool maintenance matters too. Clean tools after use. Keep blades sharp. Check batteries. Oil moving parts. Replace broken handles before you need them. A rusty tool buried under clutter will not help much when time matters. Start with small projects now. Fix something minor around the house. Learn to use a drill, wrench, saw, tape measure, pliers, and utility knife safely. Practice before a real problem turns a simple repair into a stressful one. The seventh skill is power and energy management. Backup power sounds reassuring until you start asking hard questions. What does it need to run? How long will it run? How will you recharge it? What happens if the outage lasts longer than expected? A generator, power station, solar panel, inverter, or battery bank can help a lot, but only when you understand its limits. Start by deciding what needs power first. A phone for communication, a radio for updates, a medical device, a freezer full of food, or a well pump may matter more than comfort items. The goal is not to power everything. The goal is to power the right things long enough. You also need to know how much power your devices use. A small battery bank may keep a phone alive, but it will not run a refrigerator. A larger power station may handle more, but only for a limited time. A generator can provide strong backup power, but it brings fuel, noise, maintenance, theft, fire, and carbon monoxide risks. Safety should come before convenience. Never run a generator indoors, in a garage, in a basement, or near open windows. Store fuel properly. Use extension cords safely. Keep equipment dry. Test your setup before a storm is already overhead. Energy conservation is part of the skill too. Keep fridge and freezer doors closed. Use headlamps instead of lighting whole rooms. Charge devices in batches. Turn off anything that does not matter. Backup power helps most when you know what to protect, what to ignore, and how to stretch every watt. The eighth skill is situational awareness and decision making. This is the skill that ties the others together, because the best gear in the world cannot replace judgment. A prepper who notices problems early has more time to avoid them, adjust plans, and make calmer choices. Situational awareness does not mean living scared or treating everyone as a threat. It means paying attention to changes around you, weather getting worse, roads backing up, fuel stations running dry, a neighborhood feeling different than usual, a store suddenly short on basic items, a conversation turning tense. Those details can give you warning before a problem reaches your front door. Good decision-making also matters when plans start to fail. Maybe the safest choice is to stay home. Maybe it is time to leave. Maybe the first route no longer works. Maybe using fuel for comfort now will create a bigger problem later. Start with simple habits. Look up from your phone. Notice exits. Watch the weather. Check local conditions before travel. Think through what you would do if the first plan failed. Talk through decisions with your household before stress takes over. Situational awareness is not dramatic, but it may keep you out of the wrong place at the wrong time. Decision-making turns all your supplies, plans, and skills into action when conditions change. If this video helped, please give it a like, subscribe to Prepper's Paradigm, and visit the website for the full survival skills guide. You'll find the link in the description. I would also like to know your thoughts. Which survival skill do you think every prepper should learn first? Let me know in the comments.